This is a KOCO 5 First Alert Weather Severe Weather Update.
Tracking severe storms in southern parts of Oklahoma with a high wind potential, also some large hail. I'm meteorologist Sabrina Bates with an update on these storms as they continue to push down towards the south. There already have been reports of up to golf ball sized hail. One of the storms warned for tennis ball sized hail earlier. Let's break this down here. Here's just sort of an idea of what's going on, right? So we have a boundary that is pushing down towards the south, and the storms that are closest to that, farthest south, those are the ones that are just a bit more intense, and some of them are severe. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings now. The storms that are to the north of there, over towards the OKC Metro, I-40, Kingfisher, those storms, they're not severe, just producing some heavy rainfall. Here is one severe thunderstorm watching that I'm watching closely, and actually they did just issue the southern fringe of the severe thunderstorm warning because of these strong winds that are diving down towards the southeast. This warning here goes until about 8 o'clock. I am expecting it to be expanded even farther as it approaches I-35, Pauls Valley, and Wynnewood. Now we do have storm chaser Shane Helton. He's been out keeping an eye on this storm. Shane, just the view of this storm itself looks impressive.
Sabrina, it does look impressive. Well, you know, we found quite a bit of wind in this and a lot of heavy rain. The only hail that we've seen, though, was actually smaller than peas. It was really, really small hail. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have hail in it because there is a warning on the storm for larger hail and things like that, but man, when you look at this, it just looks so impressive, and everything that we're seeing here on the ground is completely different than what we're seeing on the radar. It's kind of amazing. You know, we thought moments ago that we saw a funnel, but it just didn't last any time at all. But the storm itself is just a really impressive storm with heavy rain, lots of cloud to ground, dangerous cloud to ground lightning, and some high winds. But we haven't seen the hail yet, but we don't know if we're going to yet or not, but we're going to keep chasing this storm until we find out. Back to you, Sabrina.
And we know you're going to be keeping an eye on this storm so closely for our friends down towards Pauls Valley, Wynnewood, Katy, and down towards Sulphur. Here's a closer view of the radar once again. One area that I'm watching just especially a bit more closely is going to be where the high winds are, and that's why this new severe thunderstorm warning was issued. This storm is just pushing a bit more towards the south and the southeast. This storm warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds, and I also sampled some of the winds here. We're seeing some of those winds, yeah, around 60, 65 miles an hour. So expect those strong winds to push in from Elmore City down towards Katy, and also a larger potential of hail. It's warned for golf ball sized hail, but it has a history of tennis ball sized hail. That's going to be at least the core of it near Antioch, and this storm itself is going to be pushing down to the southeast like I mentioned. So anywhere from Pauls Valley, Wynnewood down towards Davis, I-35, anyone traveling there, if you know anyone, this storm really going to be packing a punch. You're talking about strong winds along with the hail, so wind driven hail, heavy rainfall as well, going to the southeast at about 20-25 miles an hour, reaching Davis by about 8:16, closer towards Mill Creek by about 9 o'clock. So Sulphur 8:30, you'll be seeing this storm start to roll in if it keeps its intensity. Storms across the OKC Metro back towards Minco, Chickasha, not severe, just some heavy rain, even up towards Kingfisher. There has been some expansion of these storms and more development back towards southwestern Oklahoma. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for this storm here from Snyder. This is going to be dropping down towards the southeast, closer. This squiggly line right here, that's the boundary. So these storms are north of the boundary where they do pose that risk for those high winds, large hail. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until midnight for tonight. So watching these storms very closely as we continue to watch that threat push farther down towards the south. Keep it with KOCO 5 News, and I'll bring you the first alert.